right, we are live on Facebook, which means that we are live. And I want to welcome everyone to CDNY Live right now. And our show is going to start with Chip Prince playing Jonathan Jensen's waltz, Waltz for Karen, written in 2020. So take it away, Chip. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Chip Prince, for sharing that beautiful waltz with us. That waltz is called Waltz for Karen. Do you know who Karen is, Chip?
Um, I think Jonathan told me, and I forgot.
Oh,
But it is spelled Karin. And as I said, so is that Karen? And he said, no, it's Karen, as if it
Karen.
was with an E. And that's all I know.
Well,
So
anyway,
I told Jonathan that I was going to play it tonight. So I don't know if he's here yet. If you are Jonathan, you should speak up now. But he'll get to watch it later on YouTube or Facebook, I guess.
well, anyway, thank you so much. That was so, so beautiful and so touching. So wonderful, wonderful job.
It's a lovely piece. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
So, welcome everyone to CDNY Live. My name is Cynthia Shaw, and I'll be hosting tonight's event. As we just discussed, Chip Prince just played Jonathan Jensen's waltz, Waltz for Karen, written in 1920. So, thank you, Chip. We have a great lineup for you tonight and are featuring the klezmer and jazz clarinet of Danny Elias, bass player Marco Brem, Pali Matej on fiddle and other friends, and later on in the evening, Dominique Gagne and Chip Prince will join them in the final dance party. Also, Tom Amasay will teach us some cooking. So I don't even know what he's going to be making, so I'm sure it's going to be totally amazing. So stay tuned for the rest of the show. CDNY Live is sponsored by Country Dance New York and performs on the second and fourth Thursdays of every month. You can find the schedule on the CDNY calendar at cdny.org, where you can also make a contribution in support of this program and the many others offered by CDNY. We thank CDNY and our numerous donors. Without them and you, this program would not be possible. Now, during the show, everyone will be muted. We are also live streaming the show on Facebook, where the video performance will be archived. If you are on Zoom and you are having trouble with the platform, just please put something in the chat box and someone will reach out to help you. Speaking of the chat box, which is located in the lower center of the Zoom screen, feel free to comment there during the show as much as you want. There's oftentimes lively discussion going on in the chat room, which is awfully fun. And if you see someone's name there who you haven't seen for a long time, it's really nice to reach out to that person for a private chat, say hello, greet them, and just have a moment to reach out to them. So that would be lovely. All right, so now for the fun stuff. Even though things have opened up a bit, I'm sure many of us are still binge watching TV on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and all these other shows. So why don't you take an opportunity in the chat box to share what you've been watching recently and why you like it. All right, so that people can get a chance to get to know each other and find out what everybody's watching. That would be awfully fun. All right, now I would like to invite Chip back. Now, Chip is a pianist, but he's also a multi-instrumentalist. He plays like all sorts of instruments, and every time I see him, he's playing a new instrument. So it's always very exciting. But tonight, he is going to be leading a sing-along for us. And the song that he's singing is another Jonathan Jensen song called The Chair Wrangling Shanty. So, Chip, take it away with the Chair Wrangling Shanty.
All right. So, yeah, Jonathan, some of you may have seen the music to this. Jonathan composed it and he put it out on, I forget whether it was via email or how I got it. But anyway, it's like a lot of sea shanties. You know, we've had this sea shanty fad, thanks to somebody's viral video of the Wellerman, I think is the name of it, which I've heard once. So, I mean, anything that results in sea shanties being popular is okay by me because I think they're very cool. And I've never led one before. I have to tell you that. I've been to pub sings at weekends and dance camps. Where somebody would start it and then folks would chime in on the choruses. They'd get used to how it went and they'd just chime in. Sometimes, here at CDNY Live, we will give you a little bit of a teach ahead of time, teach you how the song goes or at least what the words are, or put the lyrics up on the screen. Well, we're going to go a lot more analog with that, a lot more old school. We're going to do this without a walkthrough, as they say at contra dances, and I'm going to just hold the words up for you when it's time for you to sing. Also, I have got, via Bluetooth, I have got a chorus backing me up. Oh yes, I forgot to mention, in the past we've been asking everybody to unmute when they sing along, and we've been embracing the cacophony. Don't do that. Stay muted if you would. Nobody's gonna come and smack you if you unmute. But that's not what this is about. This is not about the cacophony of different times. This is about joining in at home. So I enlisted a Bluetoothed via Bose or Bose via Bluetooth chorus to sing along with me. In the places where you're supposed to sing along, and that way you won't miss all of those other cacophonous voices that you're not hearing today. All right, okay, here we go. I hope this works. The Chair Wrangling Shanty by Jonathan Jensen. That's all there is, there ain't no more. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Let's all pitch in and clear the floor. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Pick up your chairs and put 'em on the rack, Jack. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Pick up your chairs and put 'em on the rack, Jack. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. We'll heave and haul and sing this song. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. To speed the weary work along. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Pick up your chairs and put 'em on the rack, Jack. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Pick up your chairs and put 'em on the rack, Jack. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. And when our labor here is done, pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. We'll drink our beer and have our fun. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Pick up your chairs and put 'em on the rack, Jack. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Pick up your chairs and put 'em on the rack, Jack. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Come on, you bums, you know the rules. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Don't stand around like bloody fools. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Pick up your chairs and put 'em on the rack, Jack. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Pick up your chairs and put 'em on the rack, Jack. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Again, softly. Pick up your chairs and put 'em on the rack, Jack. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away. Pick up your chairs and put 'em on the rack, Jack. Pick up your chairs and put 'em all away.
Fabulous. That was fabulous, Chip. So for anybody who's been to Pinewoods or any other dance camp, you are always asked to pick up the chairs and put them on the rack. And if you're nice, you'll pick up your own chair and you'll pick up somebody else's chair, which is awfully really nice. So thank you, Jonathan Jensen, and thank you, Chip, for reminding us of this great practice. That was great, Chip. You know, I wanted to, since you're here, Chip, you sent me some fun things about yourself, and I just wanted to share them with people because they're just so fun. So the first thing is I want you all to know about Chip. Now, Chip has actually been in, I believe, all of the CDNY live performances, but he usually is at the end in the dance section. So it's really nice to feature him in a show tonight. So one of the things that Chip said about himself was that one summer when he was in high school, he played in 3 different town bands, in 3 different towns, in 2 different states on 3 different instruments. The baritone horn, the flute, and the trombone. Like, I can't even wrap my brain around what that means, but you must have had a very busy summer, Chip.
It was fun. You know, three days a week. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I had a ball. I mean, I didn't have anything else to do, so it kept me out of trouble.
That's good. That's good. You only got into band trouble, which we all know that's a whole other issue. But anyway, I think that's so fantastic. So I have a personal thing to tell about Chip, which he shared, which is that he has hobbit-sized feet. He only wears a size 7.5 or an 8. But a quadruple or sextuple E. So you have like these duck feet. But you don't have to share that with us. Anyway.
It was optional.
I know, exactly. And then
what happens at CDNY stays at CDNY.
That's right. This is all secret. So nobody
and stays on on Facebook too. So.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But there you go. And then he once won the blue ribbon for a breaststroke at a swim meet when he was 12 or 13, but not because he was the fastest swimmer, but because the first and second place finishers were disqualified for incorrect technique. So there you go. I hope you still have that.
I'm sure I don't.
That's okay.
It ain't the meat, it's the motion.
It's a lovely, lovely memory.
It's the memory. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we are going to move on right now to our featured other instrumentalist performers, Danny Elias and Marco Brem. We have some fun facts about now we know that Danny a few months ago broke his ribs falling down the stairs in the wintertime, and I assume by now he's back to normal. But also, Tom Amasay, who is also in our program this evening, has just broken his ribs. So I believe 3. So I don't think he fell in the snow. I think he fell on a palm tree in Florida. But anyway, so perhaps Danny and Tom have something that they can talk about in the chat room. Anyway, so Danny has been playing clarinet forever. He played Ladino music and klezmer music with his father. He works as a lawyer during the day, but he plays clarinet all over the place. Marco Brem has been playing double bass since Lord knows when, since probably he was like knee-high to a cricket. He plays classical music and jazz and has played contra dances all over the place with Danny and other bands. And he is the favorite of the cognoscenti on both sides of the Cross Bronx Expressway. So bravo to you, Marco, for that achievement. I mean, it's unbelievable. Anyway, so we're going to hear them play 3 tunes, I believe, by Danny. A jazzy set, the SS Monheit, and Gypsy Jig. So let's take it away and let's hear these great pieces. Wow, bravo. That was fantastic, you guys. That was so great. Such fun. Wow, such great tunes, Danny, and you guys sounded like you were all in the same room together, right?
We are.
You are. You're all in that little itty bitty like iPhone.
Exactly.
You're like little iPhone a cappella room. No, it really sounded
Sometimes you
great.
have to fight for your own room. You'll see later.
I
We'll
know
see later.
yeah, the beauty of this is that you can record it once and you're like, I didn't like that, and you can do it again, right?
Oh, 47 times later. Too.
And it has to be a complete take. There's no such thing as
Right.
Well, you know this, Cynthia.
I
'cause
know, man.
You
can't.
had to do that. It's you make a mistake partway through. You either live with the mistake or you do the whole thing over again.
Right.
And if it's a 7 or 8 minute tune, that gets old fast.
That's tricky. Like you sort of have, you can be the ostrich with your head in the sand going, oh, I don't think anybody will hear that bad note or that funny chord progression or anything, or else you're like, oh, I have to do it again. So how was it for you guys, Danny and Marco? How was it doing that for you, putting that together?
It was very challenging. You know, I was the second guy, and I'm not very techno savvy, so I relied on Danny and Chip for lots of advice. I couldn't even find the click track until I saw something on my iPhone that had eluded me up to that point.
That little metronome, right?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And I could change the volume of the metronome, but I still didn't hear it, and that's because I didn't turn it on, which is something I did with analog electronics in my past, just not turn it on. But anyway, that's why I play an acoustic instrument.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here in Florida visiting my mom, who's also in the screen, one of those screens somewhere. And so there are limits to how late you can play and how loud you can play. And so I had to squeeze it in as fast as I could. The time I got it to go.
But you got the joy of playing outdoors, so that was awfully lovely, seeing all those palm trees out there.
That was my sister's terrace. It was very nice.
Well, it was really great. So those were really fun tunes, and thank you guys. Thank you for sharing that with us, because that was really great. And I need to mention that Dominique Gagne did a stellar job there filling in on the flute. So thank you, Dominique.
You're welcome. Not too many takes on that one. The accordion was a whole different story.
Yes, later on we're going to hear Dominique on accordion, and it's going to be fabulous. I haven't heard it yet, but I know it will be.
Well, one hand at a time.
But anyway, that was really fantastic. So thank you guys. I know we'll be hearing from you later on, so hold tight. Now it is time for the Messy Kitchen. This week we are featuring Tom Amasay. Now, Tom Amasay is also, are you in Florida now too, Tom?
No, I actually got back just this past weekend. I'm in Staten Island.
Oh, okay. So you're on Staten Island now, and you broke your ribs in Florida.
I did.
Right? And then you still had the fortitude and the uprightness and the dedication to make these videos of yourself cooking, even though you had broken ribs, right?
Yeah, I had agreed to do this before the rib incident, and I wanted to. I enjoy cooking. I like doing it, and I wanted to continue doing it. But the rib story is a little unusual. I was actually leaping in order to save a young family who got into the way of an avalanche that was coming down a mountain in Florida, which sounds, luckily everyone survived but me. And it sounds a lot better than I was walking along a field and I stepped in a hole I didn't see and fell on my arm and broke them.
So I'm really curious about an avalanche in Florida. I don't really think of Florida as avalanche country, but maybe I'm totally mistaken.
You are, yes, absolutely. There are, the central mountain range of Florida gets up to 28 feet sometimes.
Oh my gosh. Well, Tom, that was amazing. Then you were a hero. Well, let's see what you came up with. So let's let Galen play the video, your first video of your cooking.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Messy Kitchen. I'm Tom Amasay, and tonight I'm going to cook a risotto
risotto al verde. It's a risotto with greens in it. We have about a cup and a half of arborio rice. It's a very round grain rice. It's not a long grain. It's thicker and heftier. I have some Parmesan Reggiano here. I grated a little bit of it. I'll grate some more in a minute. I have a half a stick of butter, which is divided into 2 pieces. This is leaf basil, spinach leaves. We have Brussels sprouts here. I have a few of these I'm going to chop up. Back here, well, I'll get to this in a moment, but here I have some shallots and some garlic cloves. The spices you see in front of you here are ground pepper, salt, and this is umami. It's a mushroom-based spice. Next we have some peas, and then the star of the show, asparagus. This is the time of year for asparagus. The first thing I do is I make some stock. So I have a pot back here boiling up. Add the umami. This is maybe a tablespoon or a little bit more. I add that. Mix all that up a bit. And that's how I make my stock. This is a shallot. Very slowly. And nice and easy. And here we go. What we're doing is we're just slicing the shallots very thinly. I'm going to take a clove of garlic. Now you notice it has like a root end, the other end. Again, I just chop the ends off. I just rock it back and forth. And you get a nice mince on the garlic. The Brussels sprouts, there's an S at the end of Brussels. A lot of people leave it off. It's not a Brussels sprouts, it's a Brussels sprout. Little root end there, that's a tough piece. Chop it right off. Just like the shallot, I make slices, like so. The next thing is the spinach. Give it all a rough chop. Just a rough chop. You want the big pieces to become small pieces. This is basil, fresh leaf basil. So what I do is I pile them up a bit, pile about a dozen or so, and then I roll them the long way like this. And I'm just slicing it long ways. The Parmesan Reggiano, you could also use a Locatelli Romano, you could use any kind of grated cheese you like. I happen to like the Reggiano in this dish. And you gently use a grater.
Okay, so we all know how to start this dish, which looks totally fascinating. I would never think about rolling up the basil, so that's kind of exciting. And I'm always worried about grating cheese on a grater because I always end up grating my own fingers. So I'm glad that the video cut off at that point. So anyway, Tom, we'll have to see more. How was it for you cooking just that first part and doing it on video?
Well, it was great. I've seen many of the Messy Kitchen episodes, and it never occurred to me that it was three-minute segments. And I just filmed. I had my film director and choreographer, and my film director and sous chef and everybody who was Susan filmed everything I did. And poor Jeff Barry, I sent him about 45 minutes worth of video. So he worked very hard getting it down and making it look decent. So thanks a lot to Jeff on that.
Oh, you're one of those filmmakers, I see.
Yeah, we're going to show the director's cut at one point.
Okay, good. That'll be on Amazon Prime next month. All right, well, we will come back to you soon and find out more. All right, so now it is time for a message from our sponsor, Oompa, the Order of Musical Professionals and Heroes. Now, our Oompa video tonight is not exactly Oompa-ish, but it is a short video previewing Vitor Gonçalves playing the button free bass accordion. And I think that you all are going to be totally amazed by this. So watch this great video.
The Order of Musical Professionals and Heroes, Oompa.
It was a true oompa. So, a word to the wise: do not drink long glasses of wine and try to play Bach English suites on an accordion that has just buttons on the side. Totally confusing. So that was fantastic, and I'm sure that we will see more of this later on in subsequent shows. So I'm looking forward to that. So thank you, Vitor. I would like to take a moment to remind everyone that they can make a donation directly to CDNY to support this show, as well as other CDNY music and dance programs, which are continuing through the pandemic. It's hard to imagine, but they definitely are. CDNY has been very, very active throughout this year and 2 months, a month of the pandemic. So Annie will put the link in the chat. So if you feel like donating to CDNY, that would be fantastic. Give generously and often. Okay, so now we have a little piano skit, and it's actually of me playing some Debussy, and hopefully you will like this little video. Okay, so I've been working on a new piano piece by Claude Debussy called Image Book 1. And in Image Book 1, there are 3 pieces. The third piece is called Movement. Now, there's also a Debussy Image Book 2, but I haven't even begun to work on that. And it's much, much harder than Book 1, I believe. Anyway, so the third movement in the Image Book 1 is marked in French, avec une légèreté fantastique mais précise. So I think that means with a light fantasy, but very precise. Now, it starts out pretty simple and straightforward, and you think, oh, what's the problem? See what I mean? It's pretty easy. And then hell breaks loose. Thank goodness. It's supposed to be soft. Ah! And it only goes on from there. Whew. I hope you all like that. I've been working on this piece for a while. Not for a while, but it's wildly crazy. And so I thought, oh, it'd be really fun to just play the first part of it. So there might be more. You never know. Oh, it's time to learn more about what Tom is cooking. So we're back to a video of the second video of Tom's cooking his fantastic food. So let's see the next video.
Hi, welcome back. The stock's been boiling for 20-25 minutes now. The star of the show is the asparagus, but this is how I prepare the asparagus. So I line them up so that the tips are all approximately the same. And I go about, I don't know, 1.5 inches down and just slice them off. And I put the tips together over here. So I have this pile, and instead of just chopping them, I cut them on an angle. It won't taste any better, won't taste any worse, but it looks nice. And then I add them to the rest of my plate here. and all the prep work is now finished. This is the stock. The onions, the pieces of onions, the umami, a little bit of salt and pepper. The key to making good risotto is adding warm stock to the rice. You keep the stock warm, and if you run out of stock, which I don't think I will this time, you could always add water. The ratio of rice to liquid is usually very roughly about 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of liquid. So I have a cup and a half of rice over there. I need about 3 cups of liquid. I have about a half a stick of butter here in 2 separate pieces. So I'm going to take one of the pieces and put it in the pot. It's about 1/4 of a stick right there. And I'm going to add about 2 or 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. So the butter and the oil are now, the butter's melted, the oil is warm. I will take the shallots here and toss them in, and the Brussels sprouts here and toss them in. You can see now how most of the shallots and sprouts are wilted. There's a little bit of brownness. You don't want to get too much brownness. You don't want to caramelize. So they're just about ready to go on to the next step. I'll add the garlic, the minced garlic, and I will add 1.5 cups of rice. Remember, this is the arboreal rice. It's not a long grain rice. It's a very fat, round rice. I will start to add the broth. Here is the simmering stock. I'll take 1 and 2 of the ladles, and I'll mix it up. Keep doing this for a while. It's going to take a good 10-12 minutes to get to the 3/4 of the way, at which point I'm going to add a few other things.
Sorry about that. I was going to comment, but I was going to comment on the side, and then all of a sudden the video was over, so I was muted and everything. So anyway. So Tom, that is awesome. And actually, you kind of made it in such a way that I personally believe I could maybe even start this recipe and follow what you did. So that is very exciting. I hope others share my enthusiasm and ability to pick things up. That looks really, really great. So I can hardly wait to see how it all turns out, and I wish that you could hand out samples to everybody.
Yeah, that would have been nice. We ate the samples on Monday evening.
Oh, okay. But I'm glad your sous chef helped. All right, it is time for us to have another musical set from Chip and Danny and Marco, and this time they are they're joined by their friend Pali Matej, and I hope I'm saying his name right. Am I saying his name right, Danny? Yes. Okay, excellent. That makes me feel better. Okay, so this is the Vaccination Waltz, and it is based on the tune Fascination. So I hope you all enjoy this.
It's just vaccination I need. That'll stop Corona right dead in its tracks. I'll just wait online till the end of time for the little prick that provides prophylaxis. Speaking of pricks, Trump said have no fear. By last summer, COVID would just disappear. Rush Limbaugh said, you libtard gullible folks, COVID's just a fake news hoax. I will wait on hold till I grow old, sitting on my tushy all day on the couch. You think it's a joke, you'll laugh until you croak, but as for me, I'll pray for the Fauci ouchie. But for right now, I won't take a chance. I'll endure the COVID-19 quarantine. I'll return to CDNY after getting my vaccine.
Oh, that was adorable. Totally adorable. And I love the little Three Stooges moment with the shooting of the syringe and the whap, whap, whap. That was excellent, you guys. That was really fun. Thank you so much. And I don't think I'll ever hear Fascination again without thinking of the vaccination song. Now, who wrote the lyrics?
I did.
Who said that?
I did. Marco.
Oh, Marco. I should have known. They were very adorable.
Thank you. Tricky rhyme scheme. If you listen to the Fascination song, it's not your obvious, limerick style. But anyway.
Well, you did it. You matched Fascination.
I did, pretty much.
So you might have a new career now, actually.
As a parodist, I would love that. This one has a very short shelf life, I have to say, because once we're all vaccinated and the thing is behind us, no one's going to want to hear about it. I certainly won't want to hear me sing about it. So
no. But you might be on par with Randy Rainbow. So
no, he is the patron saint. He and Tom Lehrer are the gods of that universe.
Exactly. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Did you heard the shout out to the home team there? CDNY. Yes,
I did. And Danny, I liked how you and Pali were fighting for the camera. So that was really fun.
He's such a hog.
I saw that as interpretive modern dance of two people who are at the very end of a 4-hour line who just learned that there's only one vaccination shot left.
And it may have gone, the shelf life may be over because it's been
yes.
We're willing to share the spotlight though for art because it did add something to have the violin.
Yes.
Yeah.
To be sure.
It totally did. It gave it that romantic je ne sais quoi, you know.
Well, in fact, it was actually violence that he did upon me.
Oh, God.
Violence.
Anyway, thank you so much. That was quite lovely. All right, I think it's time for us to see our final video of Tom Amasay finishing his risotto in such a way that we are all going to wish that we were married to Tom Amasay. So let's see our final risotto video.
So as you can see, as I scrape across this, it leaves a space and it eventually closes up. I've done it 3 or 4 times already. Every time it gets to this point, I will get the ladle and I'll add a couple of ladles. Right now, it's absorbing the hot liquid. It's retaining its shape. It's probably half to 2/3 done. Now, what I'm going to do is add the spinach. This is the leaf spinach that we had earlier. And this is the basil. I'm going to add about half of it, roughly half of it. You can see it's quite dry right now. So I will add another 2 ladles. Now is when you want to add the star of the show. And you get that all mixed in very well. And almost immediately you're going to have to add the some more stock because it's very dry now, as you can see. You want the asparagus to cook. So you'll need, I don't know, 2 minutes, maybe 3. We're going to put in the other quarter stick of butter. And the grated Parmesan Reggiano. At the same time, you're going to want to add your peas. You mix that all up, and you lower the heat to low. The butter and the cheese are giving it a little added extra creaminess. I'm going to put some risotto in here. The rest of the basil. I'm going to just put a few leaves. And this is the risotto verde, or risotto al verde, green risotto. Creaminess, butteriness, it's just wonderful. So, thank you very much for joining me, and I appreciate you watching, and I hope I was able to give you a little bit of insight into risotto. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you, Tom. Tom, how did you learn how to make that?
Well, everything I make, I kind of learn on my own. I enjoy doing a lot of research about different foods. There was a magazine I used to read about the science behind cooking. I really enjoyed that. And I just kind of pick things up and teach myself. I noticed there was some comments about Brussels sprouts, which not everyone likes, and feel free to leave them out, add different green vegetables. And this was just a vegetarian version. I've made dozens of other versions, and sometimes I experiment, and sometimes Susan's really happy about it, and other times, well, we call out for pizza. But I love cooking, and I want to continue doing so.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That was amazing. I mean, I was thinking, oh, you could add shrimp to that, or you could add chicken, or you could just add all sorts of things. So
Absolutely.
And I love how you said, well, you can tell it's really dry here. I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't look pretty dry to me.
I should have said I could tell.
You could tell. So anyway, thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you so much for taking the time in your rib-induced.
It was my pleasure, and thank you, CDNY. Thank you, Annie, for asking me. I appreciate it.
Yes, and many thanks to Jeff Barry for editing this video. So Jeff made it, yeah, as concise as possible. So thank you. I don't know if you're here, Jeff, but thank you. That was
Jeff did a great job. Thank you.
Yes. So unfortunately, we are at the end of our show. How did that happen? It went by so quickly. We have some final announcements. Next week, there is not an English dance lore evening, which means that the next CDNY event will be Thursday, May 13th, and that will also be another CDNY Live. We will be featuring a piano and concertina festival with Gene Murrow and Roger Davidson. So I can hardly wait to hear that, because Roger is an amazing pianist, and I don't know what he'll be doing, but he has, as far as I know, he's been doing a lot of tango music. So that's been a lot of what he's been doing. So I don't know if he'll be playing tango or what he'll be doing, but I'm sure that what he and Gene do together will be totally wonderfully amazing. Now, all of these events and the Zoom links to them can be found on the CDNY web page, which is www.cdny.org. So on Thursday night, if you're like, I wonder what's going on, just go to cdny.org. And on the left-hand side, you'll see a calendar with all of the events, and you'll find links to be able to just go directly to the Zoom link. Again, I would like to thank our musical guests tonight, Danny Elias, Marco Brem, Pali Matej, Dominique Gagne, and Chip Prince, and our cook in the messy kitchen, Tom Amasay. Our producers, Annie Eden and Dominique Gagne and Country Dance New York. And special thanks to our technical director, Galen Kirkpatrick, and our video editor, Jeff Barry. And of course, many, many, many thanks to all of our donors and sponsors at cdny.org. Now, our final dance party is a klezmer dance, excuse me, I can't talk, a klezmer dance set. It's going to be featuring 2 tunes by Danny Elias. The first is called Russian Revolution, and the second one is called Red, Red Robin. And then the dance set will finish up with a Finnish polka in D minor, which is a traditional Finnish tune. Now, we hope you enjoyed this wonderful recording, and if the music makes you feel like getting up and dancing and moving around, then please do so. So take it away, Galen, with our final dance party. That was so great. Bravo, you guys. Bravo, bravo, bravo. That was fantastic. Just made you want to like jump up and dance and just move around, and that was so great. Thank you, everybody. I didn't mention that Dominique, as you saw on accordion, was there playing with Danny and Marco and Chip. So congratulations, Dominique, too. So thank you, everybody, for a lovely, lovely evening of music and food and cooking and singing and being together.